Hi, hello students. In this video, I am going to be tell you the numerical based upon the prism concept. The question is a prism with an angle of incidence 60 degrees produces angle of minimum deviation of 30 degrees. Find the angle of refraction at this condition. Second thing, find the refractive index of the material of the prism. Third thing is find the refractive index of the prism with respect to the medium having the refractive index root 2. So before going to be solve this kind of problems, you need to remember the formula of refractive index of the prism. The formula is n is equal to sine of a plus, where a is called angle of the prism, a plus d minimum divided by 2 whole divided by sine a by 2. And this equation is derived from the Snell's law, which will be is equal to sine a by sine r. See, this equation is valid for when the surrounding medium is air. If you consider the surrounding medium refractive index, now you should take np by ns, where np is nothing but prism refractive index and ns is nothing but surrounding medium refractive index, and a is nothing but angle of prism. Next, d minimum, you know this thing, d minimum is nothing but angle of minimum deviation, and the thing I is nothing but angle of incidence, and r is nothing but angle of refraction, angle of refraction. This angle of incidence and angle of deviations are the conditions of d minimum. Now in this problem he had given and the angle of the prism is equal to 60 degrees and the angle of minimum deviation is 30 degrees. The first thing is asking find the angle of refraction at this condition. So if you are going to be find out the angle of refraction, so what should you do? You should compare the equation, then you will get a by 2 will be is equal to r. Then what is the a value he mentioned? 60 degrees. 60 by 2 will be is equal to r. Therefore r will be equal to 30 degrees. So the first question answer is 30 degrees. Next, find the refractive index of the material of the prism, means you need to find out the refractive index with respect to air. So when you are finding the refractive index of the prism with respect to air, n can be written as sine of a plus d minimum divided by 2 whole divided by sine a by 2. Here the conditions are a equal to 60 degrees and d minimum is equal to 30 degrees. Now substitute the values in the equation. A 30, d minimum, sorry, a is 20, d minimum is 30 whole divided by sine of 60 by 2. Then you will have sine of 90 by 2 whole divided by sine 30. It will be equal to sine 45 by sine 30. And what is the value of sine 45? It will be equal to 1 by root 2, and sine 30 value will be 1 by 2. Now we will have 1 by root 2 into root 2 by 1. Root 2 on the root 2 2 you will get root 2 times of root 2, you will get root 2 only. So the refractive index of the prism with respect to air is root 2, which is nothing but 1.414. Clear? And what are the units of refractive index? It is a dimensionless quantity, so it doesn't have units. And what is the answer for the second question? Root 2. Now we are going to be find out the refractive index of the prism with respect to the medium having refractive index is root 2. So what is the refractive index of the prism? You got root 2. Now you are going to be find out refractive index of the prism with respect to the medium, nothing but surrounding medium having the refractive index is root 2. Then you will have root 2 divided by root 2, which will be equal to 1. What are the units of refractive index at this condition? It is actually not the refractive index, it is a relative refractive index, and even it is also a dimensionless quantity, so no units. Clear? So what is the answer for our third question? 1. If you like my explanation, please subscribe my channel Wow Academy for Physics. Thank you.